What's up, everybody? Welcome to. Oh, okay. I was wondering what was going on. Whoa! What? I feel like we need jungle. We need like a like Animal Planet intro music or something.
I have no idea what that looked like.
The wild Joey in his natural habitat.
I did get a new camera, so I was playing around with that.
What was funny was in the green room. We were just I was giving kind of a quick rundown of how the episodes usually start to our guests tonight, and Joey, just in the middle of me chatting, goes like this, and I'm like, okay, sorry, jeez.
Yeah. oh, what's even better was like there's all these commands for it. This is how you make it zoom in on something.
Oh, wow! Okay. They were like, you know what would be funny?
You turn it off. Yeah, I'm
I feel like there's got to be like better things than, you know.
Well, you don't have to do it on your forehead. I just,
Oh, okay.
It makes more.
That's just what you're used to doing.
like if you want to be like, oh, look at this thing.
Oh,
now it's not.
Hang on. Oh, so it's almost like you're doing this.
Oh, maybe
that's what it's like. You're telling it to frame something just with the one hand.
Maybe, but it just looks like you're like, loser.
Does it work? Well, I love a little bit of random chaos. Your camera's going to go haywire every now and then, and I love that.
It's bad because I talk with my hands sometimes too, and you just never know what's going to happen.
Of all the things, why would you? What? Okay, I love it. Anywho, welcome to Hot Makes, everybody. Jim is not joining us tonight. He is sick. He's probably going to watch at some point because he was super excited about the guest. Jim, I'm sorry that you're missing out on this one, but we'll see you next time. But quick top of the show stuff. Anything that we talk about on the show tonight is in the description of the video. There's a link to all of our guest stuff as well as all of the hot makes that we talk about tonight. If you enjoy the show, consider donating to the Oreo Fund. Nightbot should be throwing that out every now and then, as well as the typical super chats and stuff. But the super chats and stuff, yeah, YouTube takes a bunch of that, but it's always appreciated. But Alexa, open Joey's garage door. Do you have it set up to an Alexa?
Google.
Okay, there you go.
I won't say the words. Will do it.
Faking it fund. Andrew Rogers. I've seen him at every event recently, and he is a joy to be around. That sounded sarcastic, but it wasn't meant to be. And then subscribing, thumbs up, all that. I wrote in my notes. I wrote all that hot jazz. I think I was referencing like hot makes, but I don't feel good about the phrase hot jazz. It feels wrong.
What does it mean?
Huh?
What does it even mean?
Like all that jazz. You know the phrase? Yeah. You don't?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
All right.
Maybe I live too far out in the country or something.
Oh, Sarah just yelled from across the house. She says he wasn't in show choir. Yeah, fun fact. I was in show choir in high school. I had a sparkly blue vest and everything. What? I love the yelling something across the house, and then when I can't hear her, she doesn't respond.
yeah, we just hear like a faint laugh confirming. Like,
right.
Acknowledgement. So,
hey, what's up?
Suit.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time making Bill just hang out in the background, but really quick, Joey, you and I were recently at 3D Printopia in Bel Air, Maryland, and I only saw you for half the time.
Yes,
because we somehow ended up
very good at like not being like literally. I think we were at the after dinner party thing, and like I saw your back away from me when you're in line, and I knew you were with Sam Prentice, so like I saw him later, and I was like, Sam, do you know where Caleb is? He's like, he's right there. And you were just like walking like 10 feet from me. Like, I'm like,
walking away.
Yeah.
I
had to thank him for finding you for me.
I mean, somebody jokingly called me his beard one time, and he hasn't let that go. So, no, I was Bearded Printer. He's back. We can start the show now. All right, it's time. Let's do this. We'll start the show. No, just kidding. But no, so we talked on the show like the past few episodes about how you were prepping for 3D Printopia, and for some reason 2 and 2 just did not connect in my head until I was in Maryland on Thursday, I think, and I was like, oh wait, that's right, Joey's gonna be here. I almost texted you. Oh, sorry, I was in the middle of texting you asking if you were going to 3D Printopia. That's how much I pay attention or remember things.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then on all day Friday was setup day, and I didn't even we were just busy. It was just constantly mayhem. Setup day is always crazy. I didn't even think about it. And then Saturday was even more crazy because we were running around doing all of our filming and stuff, and it was a busy event.
I think I took almost 800 chips, and I think I had about 750 taken. So
wow,
it was busy, and I think they said there was over 3,000 visitors at the event. So it was busy.
Well, they're gonna have a bigger space next year.
Oh yes, I am excited about that. Like, actually, it worked really good because when people were coming in, I was like the second table, but a lot of people down on the floor, and that the layout was always a little tricky because you got people up top. And so not everyone gets. It's a bit of a challenge to get back and forth between them. So
I'm used to going in. I get so used to going in that the entrance where we load in and load out, where the death racers and stuff happen. So I was very it never dawned on me until you said that just now that the entrance is up there on the top floor by where the concessions are.
And speaking of Bearded Printer, he was not really my neighbor, but he was down the aisle from me a little bit. And he gave me, I love this. This is like one of my favorite things.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It's a floppy
drive. I love that. Also, I should take that with me, or I should make some of those. Bearded Printer, I'm gonna reach out. Speaking of floppy drives, I was gonna show you this before we started. But there's a guy on Maker World that designed a little floppy drive keychain, and I have a retro. It's called Retrofest Arkansas. It's a retro themed event. Old games that Nintendo, that kind of stuff. I have a booth there where I'm selling a bunch of stuff. So I thought I saw a TikTok of this or a reel of this recently, and wanted to scale it down. Somebody did this same concept full scale, where they took. They 3D printed floppy disk coasters, and then they laser etched labels on them.
Oh,
so I decided to do the same, but tiny.
Oh, that is, wow!
Like really tiny.
Dang!
And it's hard to see on the camera, but you can read all the little itty bitty text. It's all
That's
readable.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I had some ironing issues, so ignore that.
That's
splotch
really
there.
Good
I've got a bunch more, and I should have grabbed them, but you when we were at 3D Printopia, you opened my eyes to the really cool filament that Polar Filament has.
Yes,
that's color matched to old Apple device plastic. So I printed a bunch of these floppy disks in that.
Oh yeah,
and I'm gonna put some Mac programs on there.
Okay, now speaking of both retro platinum and retro games, look at this little guy.
Is that?
Yes, that's yours.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, also, dude, I I wish I knew you were printing it in OG colors, because I have an OG design.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's just the Game Boy Color design. I have the first one I designed was the original Game Boy design. It was for Retrofest last year. I'll send it to you. That's so funny. That's so cool, though. What do you think? Did it turn out okay?
It turned out great, and the screen color, I did a really interesting filament, and I love how it turned out.
That's awesome.
I did want to say too, I had a crazy time at 3D Printopia. I brought this along, which was my first drawer ever. Like I made back in
nice.
2019. Before I even uploaded it, like before I even knew of uploading stuff online, right?
Mhm.
But the first place I did was Prusa Prints, and which is now Printables.
Mhm.
But I went up and I told that story to Joseph Prusa, and I got his autograph right on
There
it.
you go.
So that was super cool. And then he had no idea like like my projects or anything, so he was kind enough to come to my booth and check everything out for a couple of minutes. So
That's
that was
awesome.
really exciting. Like, you know, just having the opportunity kind of to do, like, I was so nervous, but it was so cool to do that. And then this was something I kind of fell in love with, but it also like clicked when I was looking at things. Like I do like those accent pieces on my drawers,
Mhm.
and Hue Forge, they have Flat Forge
Yeah.
now. And
Yep.
so I did well, I was like, oh, I want to get into this, but I made sure I picked up. I talked to the creator of this. This is the scanner for
There
the
you
Hue
go.
Forge.
Isn't that
Um,
Ajax?
yeah,
Oh
Ajax.
yeah, it's literally it's written right on there, Caleb.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it works awesome. But the cool thing with this, even outside of HueForge, just scanning the filaments, I mean within HueForge, but you can
Mhm.
see the transparency level and all that stuff. Like I was trying to figure out like Zombie Hedgehog's filament. It looks really good. And most of the reds I would scan, like, you know, there's a certain level of
Mhm.
transparency. His was like not transparent. Like it's very, very like
Oh,
heavy filament. Like it's
really?
a very solid color. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm learning. I'm learning. So
That's the Bjax version. Jeeper says.
it's yeah. It's
Oh,
awesome.
and Bearded Printer too. He says, as a designer, I'm always worried about how it turns out for the other people. I can totally relate. Yeah, that was I've only posted a few designs on Things, and I've got a ton of designs that I've made that I just need to post. That takes time though. And that Game Boy Color design was the only one that I've cross posted so far on Printables and Maker World. And somebody downloaded it. Total stranger downloaded it, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, guy." I felt special. But and then Joey knocking it out of the park there, making another
I gotta
one.
upload my make now. I
Oh,
do have to do some makes for real.
I need to send you the Game Boy, like the old Game Boy
Yeah,
design I
I'll
have too.
make them. These would be great
There's a
gifts.
story behind that battery compartment too. It started with the original Game Boy
Uh-huh.
that I designed, the first one that I designed. My dad gave me his original Game Boy when I was a kid, and yeah, there you go.
Wait, hold on. I
And it
gotta
was
practice.
missing the battery compartment cover. So when I designed the original, Game Boy keychain, something just didn't feel right to me when I couldn't see the batteries from the back. That's not a Game Boy. To me, a Game Boy has the batteries hanging out the back because that's what I had when I was a kid. So I was like, all right, well, I got to make a battery compartment that you can remove. And that ended up being a pretty popular feature when I take it to events and stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, we didn't have the fancy lithium ion Gosh, I remember having a Walkman and like, hold on,
Having
driving
Walkmans.
nuts. Oh yeah, yeah. I know a
Losers.
Walkman, and I would spend all my allowance buying freaking batteries every week from the dollar store,
Oh,
and like, it was a cassette player too.
yeah.
So like, as the batteries would slowly die, the music would just slowly slow down, and it just get deeper, and you know, you could just.
Yeah.
It was basically all my money in the world just draining away into, you know, slowing down music. So yeah, I don't miss those times.
Well, I've got a bunch of things that I keep wanting to show off, but again, I said this earlier, but then we ended up making him wait a little while. But let's go ahead and bring our guest in. Bill, are you good? You ready? Oh yeah, he looks like he's ready. He's doing the oh, there you go.
Oh, hello there.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he's
just
doing the-
making sure the inside of this barrel was clean.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody, this is Bill Doran.
Hello.
Bill, I Duran into you at
Yeah?
Sarah across the house. She goes, "Lame." I ran into you at Open Sauce, and
Yes.
we had a really nice, quick little conversation about how events like that just kind of bring people together. And
Oh, and that one in particular was choice. Open Sauce
Yeah.
was so good.
yeah, last year was my first time going. This year, going back, like the kind of, I guess, nerves of not knowing like what it was going to be like kind of went away. I know it had happened a few, but I hadn't been before. And this year was a lot more chill and a lot more calm. And Prusa had that amazing maker creator lounge that
Yes.
everybody was hanging out in. And that was just, it felt like, I know that it was kind of, it was closed off from general attendance, but for like people like myself who were more so like accessories to the creators and friends with some of the creators, not necessarily a creator myself, it felt really cool being in a space where everybody was just kind of on the same level. Everybody was just hanging out.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was my first time going to Open Sauce ever. So the first 2 years I was really feeling the FOMO. So I made it there, and it's really much, it's like VidCon and Maker Faire had an unholy child, and that's what Open Sauce is. And it turns out that's what I wanted, because I like Maker Faire and I missed that. I've been to VidCon, not really my cup of tea. This was exactly it. And then I show up and I knew everyone, so I was like, hey! It felt like a family reunion, which was terrific.
Exactly. That's a cool part about these events, is like there's so many people that you don't really see on a regular basis, and then they're like, every time you turn a corner, you're like, I didn't know you were gonna be here. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, I ran up. I had my film camera. I was taking 35mm shots, which actually still need to be developed.
I didn't know that,
but
that's awesome.
Yeah. And then Destin from Smarter Every Day walked by, and I bumped into him before, but we don't really know each other. But he did a whole series of videos on the Kodak Film Factory. So I like ran across the room. I was like, Destin, can we talk about film? And he was very gracious.
See, it's funny too, because you were allowed to do that.
Oh yeah.
We had so being on the kind of like the support kind of side of things,
Right.
being kind of with Prusa, with one of the creators that was working with Prusa, which was Sam. We had very explicit instructions not to interrupt any conversations, not to get like super excited and run across the room and be like, Dustin, otherwise we would have had a problem, because
gave me So I was not given any of these warnings. I was
well,
I wasn't even really a guest. I was told that if I showed up, I would get a creator badge. So I flew myself there. I got a hotel room, and then I got a creator badge. So I got to do all the fun stuff.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad I got to run into you, because we Tech Jeeper says Caleb don't tackle anyone was in their disclaimer.
Yeah.
There was a note posted on the front door just with my name, with my face on it, that said "Watch out." But we were so Sam was chatting with Joseph, and I went out there to hang out with them. And what was cool was it was just this interesting moment where you were out there, Sam and Joseph were out there, and we were all just kind of like standing around, like, Alexander Chapel. He was out there, and you were chatting with him, and we were all just kind of standing there chatting like King of the Hill characters, while Ivan Miranda is sitting in front of us trying to fix his like skateboard.
Desperately trying to get his one wheel,
so hard.
2-wheel, 1-wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. The twin wheel. But it was a cool, surreal moment where I was like, hey, you know what? Bill, we have kind of sort of done, not necessarily work together, but I've sent something along with you like so many years ago, and it's interesting that I'm standing next to you chatting with you now, because like that feels like it was a totally different life ago.
Oh geez, no kidding. I'm on my like third or fourth life at this point, I think.
The third or fourth?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, you have 5 more to go, so
plenty. Yeah.
But I appreciate you hopping on and hanging out with us.
Mhm.
I was going to ask you what you thought of open sauce, but you've already kind of given that.
Yeah. Open source is amazing. We had Dragon Con, was it a month
Right.
ago already? That's our big one. That's our favorite one.
Mhm.
Got to go to it. In fact, Wednesday, so in 2 days, I have to, at 7 a.m., I have to get up to try and get my hotel room for Dragon Con next year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The Marriott Hunger Games. Anyone watching who wants to get a Marriott room next year, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. That's when you can get a room. 11 months in advance. That's how Dragon Con does it. Yeah,
But they sell out almost immediately.
just like that.
Yep.
Wow.
That's a massive
Mhm.
event.
Can I share what I brought to Dragon Con?
Yes.
He's
I was
sitting
hoping you
right
would.
here. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Please do.
So he doesn't
this
have his batteries, but for Dragon Con this last year, I built Bender in a little car.
Fantastic.
There he is, right there. Yeah. So
You said he doesn't have
he's
batteries in him?
radio controlled. He doesn't currently have batteries, and it's a big to-do to put him in. So he's going to be static. But no, he drives around. The headlights work, and then the head is all animatronic. So his eyes are all on servos,
Mhm.
and I sequenced a bunch of animations so that when he talks, his eyes emote. And of course, he yells a bunch of lines from the show at people.
Yep.
So
At
this
people.
has been my big project for the last year, and the big culmination was at Dragon Con. But I'm hoping that I do some upgrades to him in the next year, and then bring him to open source next year.
Oh, that would be awesome.
He would kill at open source, I think.
So
And I can program all sorts of new animations into him between now and then, so he could have like lines that are specific for the event. I've got lofty ideas for Bender.
I mean, okay, but realistically, how hard would it be to get in touch? Why I'm blanking on the voice actor, but he was also
John DiMaggio.
Yeah, how difficult would
Yeah.
it be for us
I
to
bet.
get in touch with him?
I bet we could get on Cameo and ask him to do a few lines for us.
Is he on Cameo?
Maybe, could be.
If he's
I
not,
was-
you're
Yeah.
probably, if he's not, whether it's you or me or Sam or one of the other people we know, we're probably only a few degrees.
I know, right?
From him, we'd
Yeah.
probably be able to figure it out.
Yeah. I was hoping, actually, I'll bring Bender to Emerald City Comic Con here in Seattle next year, and if he's there, then I could bring him and they can meet.
Perfect.
That would be better. He was not at Dragon Con. I was hoping John DiMaggio would be at Dragon Con. He was not. That would have been perfect.
I was so if for those watching, if you haven't seen Bill's video on this build that he did, it's absolutely awesome. And you showed off some of the, like, you had some specific phrases and lines from the show that would play when you were getting on and off the elevator with people that just like absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah. So that was the best part, was picking lines from the show. Obviously, some of the classics, but I tried to pick shows that would play well in a crowd of people. So like I had a row of buttons that I could press were different ways of saying hello, or another row was different ways of saying goodbye.
Oh, you like categorized it on, oh, that's cool. That's
soundboard.
So when someone else was leaving the elevator, Bender would tell them to get out, basically. Yeah. But then when Bender was leaving a room or leaving the elevator, he'd say, "So long, coffin stuffers," and it would just be a trail of laughter as he left. So,
I love it.
The elevators, if you've never been to Dragon Con, the elevators are kind of a thing. Spend a lot of time on elevators. And the best part about having a robot with funny lines is every few floors you have a completely new audience. And they'll let you just keep playing the same lines, and they kill every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope to make it to Dragon Con maybe next year.
Yeah.
I helped I did the video editing for Alley Cats Creates for their Marceline Axe guitar with the stereo and the touchscreen and everything in it.
Yeah. I saw that last year. That was amazing.
You got to see it?
Yeah. That's so cool.
See, I hope I get to see it in person at some point, but that was, and then watching like some of the clips that they took while they were at the show, and I'm like, man, I've always wanted to go, but then it's like I'm only a few steps removed now because I'm editing somebody's video from the event. Like, come on, I just got to get out there at this point.
Got to get out there. Yeah.
And we're not, I mean, it's a drive, but we're in the South. It's not too difficult to get there if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But that's I forgot. I was gonna make the joke when you hopped on. I was gonna tell everybody our guest tonight was Frankie Polito.
Yeah.
We went out to his shop.
I just saw him a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, in fact, I hadn't been down to his place in like 7 years. In Burbank, there.
Yeah. We went up last year. We ran into him at the after party after. What was the event? It might have been Rapid. I think it was Rapid. Maybe.
I think it was Rapid.
But it was the one in LA. I think that was that was Rapid in LA. Joel Telling had a really awesome, like he hosted a really awesome like after party at a bar, and Frank was there, and I hadn't met him before, but I'm a big fan of his work just for the same reasons I'm a fan of the work that you've done. And I was like, I got to go chat with him, and he saw the tattoos on my arm, and he was, of course, that turned into something for him too. And he was asking me, he's like, so what does it take to be like one of the logos on your arms? Are you are you suggesting something there?
I'm just stretching.
Well, we could talk, but he was like, what does it take? And I was like, well, I just pay for the ink, that's it. I'll take videos or photos or whatever you want, and whatever the cost of the ink is, we can make it happen. So he pulls $200 out of his wallet and he hands it to me cash, and I'm like, dude, hang on, you've had a few drinks, I've had a few drinks, you're handing me cash, like maybe we should talk about this later, because I don't want it to be like a weird situation. Like I look up to you in a way, even though I'm trying to treat us as equals. I look up to you, so
Caleb. Oh, this is awkward. We were right in the heart of the story there. Well,
I'll have to tell a story about how I got drunk with Frank and got a tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't have any tattoos. I did work for Frank a couple of times. I flew down there actually 10 years ago. Frank was doing a commercial for the video game Lawbreakers, and I flew down there for Comic-Con, and then I stuck around for another week to help make costumes and props for that commercial. And then the game was terrible and no one played it.
Oh man. Well, but it's the experience of probably getting ready for that stuff's a lot of fun.
It was fun. I made this really cool blaster, and then you don't see it at all in the commercial.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But I always think like those things are stepping stones that kind of get you to, it motivates you to make those things, and they exist.
Yeah, it's fun. I do have a casting of that. It's this huge hand cannon, and we made a mold of it and cast a couple of copies, and I painted them for the production. But then I got a copy for myself.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You think you'll ever make any more with that?
No, but maybe I'll paint it for myself someday.
Yeah, that's true.
If the game had turned out to be good, like there would have been more hype around it. But the game came out and nobody talked about it. It just was a complete non-starter.
I see in the background there you have a Satisfactory helmet, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you play Satisfactory?
Awesome. Yes, I probably
back.
Look,
yeah. There we go.
Now we show.
I have about 500 hours into Satisfactory.
I'm probably there too.
Oh, there we
go.
Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
The helmet.
Yeah. That one's it's one of my most played games. It's way up there.
It's one of those games where after a while you have to take breaks because it starts feeling like work.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, but it's still so much fun.
All right, Caleb.
Yes.
You and Frank were drinking. He handed you a wad of cash. I need to know what happened next.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, "Are you sure you don't want to do this or talk about this later?" And the dude does kind of like the dad slap his hand down on your shoulder and grab it. It wasn't just like a pat; it was like a slap down and grab. And he goes, "Caleb, you don't want to owe an Italian money. We'll talk later." And I'm like, okay, wow, all right.
That's great.
Hey,
I have one Frank story.
Yeah.
When I was down there working on the Lawbreakers commercial, the BattleBots was airing during that chunk of time. So Frank and I wanted to go to a bar and watch BattleBots, and we went to the first place we checked was Buffalo Wild Wings, and Frank goes, I'll get us a table. So he goes in, and then I hear from across the room, what do you mean BattleBots doesn't count as sports? And then he comes out the door, he goes, Bill, we're leaving.
That's so funny.
They wouldn't change it to BattleBots. So we found a nice place that would play BattleBots for us while we could have a beer.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Hey, Caleb, I was just thinking about when if one of us freezes or cuts out, whether it's like you, me, or Jim or whatever, we should have something that like you could just make it go full screen and just say to be continued.
With the I think I have it. Yeah. I don't know where it is, but I do have the sound.
Oh,
here we
sound
go.
bit.
Here, I'll give you a better look. I have free 3D print files over at punishprops.com if anyone wants to print one of these themselves. The visor is store-bought. I got that on Amazon, and I designed it to fit right into the 3D print.
I love that. I love it when people are designing things and they because the visor, if you had not done that, the visor would have been the hardest part to get your hands on.
Yeah. Exactly, right? So I put tape over this and I 3D scanned it. The tape was because it's so reflective, but I just put masking tape over. I 3D scanned it with my phone. I dropped that into Fusion and then I just modeled around it and it fit perfectly. And
so smart.
Because I'm a crazy person, I modeled this helmet twice. One for me and one for my wife, whose head is slightly smaller. Both fit the same size visor, which is why I couldn't just scale it. But there are two different size free 3D print files if anyone wants a satisfactory helmet.
That's awesome.
Did you carry around like a coffee mug and stuff too?
Yes, I do. Oh, it's upstairs, but I have the official coffee mug.
Awesome.
There's a fan in here. Yeah, the fan keeps the visor clear and my head cool. Yeah. And then there are LEDs in the where are the LEDs? Up here. Is the battery on? Is there a battery in here? Nope. You'll have to imagine
anything. Bill actually doesn't own batteries. He's got the same condition that that Chuck had in Better Call Saul, where he just can't be around any electronics.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
That's awesome.
So if you're looking for a fun, challenging print, that's.
And you said those files are on punishprops.com?
Yeah, punishprops.com. We have a free blueprints page that's got a ton of like 2D patterns for foam, 3D files for printing. Yeah, just a whole crap load of stuff over there.
That's
so
awesome.
a little bit of everything. And I was even thinking too, I have some of my older props, like my Mass Effect blaster back there, the Paladin.
Oh, yeah.
That was made with a scroll saw and a drill press. I don't have 3D files, but I could 3D scan that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about 3D scanning some of my older handmade props, and then being able to offer those 3D files if people want to print them.
Oh, you know what? That's pretty smart.
Are you thinking of just using your phone then for like photogrammetry, or
I see what's going on in Joey's brain. We were just talking about scanning.
I'm looking.
He's like scanning.
Right. Oh geez. I'm borrowing one of these Mamma Jambas from Joel.
Dude, those are so nice.
So I'm gonna try out with that.
So awesome. They scanned me with one of those at Rapid last year. We did a weird thing for Sam's video, and it did everything except my head because my head was too shiny.
Too shiny.
The lights at the show, and it wouldn't scan my head.
I know. I got like parts like this I need to scan, and I'm
cool.
I'm like, I should probably just invest in a. Because I scan this with my phone, but it's off by like 2 millimeters here and there.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm like, I should
Joel Telling says, "OMG, that's where it is." I wondered where.
Yeah.
That.
Don't worry, Joel. I'm keeping it tidy over here.
Yeah, make sure you wipe the SD card before.
Yeah.
Who knows what this man's been scanning?
Oh, actually, what could I leave on there? That would be funny.
You know what? Even better.
I'll tell you, I could take it on a walk with me and scan some of the dog poop my
I was
neighbors are
just
leaving.
about to say, yeah. Do you have dog? Do you have a dog?
No, but my neighbors do apparently.
Oh,
They don't have any poop bags.
Imagine like they just catch you in the yard scanning. How would you explain that?
Snap.
Please,
well, and if they
don't
necessarily know what a 3D scanner is, so they're just going to think you're out there with like an iPad, like taking pictures.
Yeah,
you'd have to come up.
I would tell them.
No,
if I'm out there with like a forensic looking device scanning dog poop and someone questioned me, I would tell them I'm getting to the bottom of this. That's what I'm doing.
You're like, oh no, I'm just scanning for radiation. It's really high radiation.
Yeah.
What?
It's so funny. Hey, Bearded Printer says he has Up Dog. What's Up Dog? Hey, it's one of my favorite jokes that I will never not tell.
So one thing, Bill, I saw in your video, I thought was really interesting was I've never done animatronics. It'd be something I'd probably.
I wanted to comment on this too.
Yes, you had like your screen up, like I think it was Premiere Pro or something similar, and you were
right.
Like, the frames of it, and like Bender's, his the way his expression is and everything, and you're capturing or not capturing, but basically recreating it recreated, I guess.
Right.
That's cool.
So
yeah.
Step one was to watch all of Futurama, which I haven't quite made it all the way through, but I watched a lot of Futurama, and I grabbed clips of all the stuff I wanted him to say from the show. So I grabbed video clips, and then I put them all in Premiere because that's what I used to edit. And then I could watch each clip and I could scrub through it and say, okay, after half a second, his eyes are posed like this. And in the software for the servo controller, you just move sliders and it moves all of the things until it's posed correctly. You make a keyframe and you tell it to set a 500 millisecond delay. And then I go through the video a little bit until his expression changes again. And I'll say, okay, that was maybe 700 milliseconds. I could guess on the delay. Repose the eyes, set another keyframe. And then I would load that all up on the Benner and I'd play it with the sound and see if it all matched up. The board I use allows you to delay the sound or delay the movement a little bit, so you can kind of fudge it a little bit. But yeah, the process is pretty simple. It's just move the servos until they're posed and then set a keyframe. Massaging it to be timed correctly is a little tedious. But it was a very simple system.
I had that with this project, which I was showing you this earlier, and then you ran off to get yours.
Yeah.
But what I showed Joey that I didn't show you was this part.
What's going on? Oh, we got noises. We got lights. Yeah. Oh man, mine doesn't have sounds.
And then after 10 shots,
you have to reload it.
Yep. So this is
cool.
This is a project that has been a long time in the works with 3D Printing World. He has been doing all the design work for the blaster itself. I've been working on the electronics. I'm not going to pop the cover off because I'll probably never get it back on again. But they're very, very crammed in there. There's not a lot of space in the body of this thing.
Awesome.
But
did you like
sorry?
Did you do like a PCB then?
No. So I've got actually this is the first functioning prototype. Here's the non-functioning prototype version 1, 2, 3, and 4. But it's just so it's an Arduino Nano. I probably could have gone away with a Mini. I'm gonna experiment with that because there's not a lot of space in there. But Arduino Nano, DF Player Mini, 3-watt speaker, and charging. There's a charging port up here, right here, USB-C.
Nice. All right.
And then a voltage regulator because it's a 7.4 volt battery and everything uses the 5 volts, so. But all of that gets crammed in there, as well as the LED lights that are in the barrel. Oh, and the tip of the barrel, I thought this was really cool that he designed it this way. The tip of the barrel unscrews. so that if you're
So
going
you
to a
can put
con,
a
and you
silencer
need-
on it. Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
you can put a orange tip on it if you need to.
Very good.
So he released so he was doing two things. He was helping me out with the electronic version, and he was releasing the static version. He's already released the static version files. The idea with these was that we were going to I was going to be selling electronics kits, so you can 3D print your own, and then you can buy the electronics kit off of my Etsy, and then install it. But obviously, like I said, this is a prototype. The electronics need to be refined a little bit more because there's some. I did some, you understand, Bill. There's some questionable things going on in here that I wouldn't sell.
Not prepared for public consumption yet.
No,
yeah.
not yet. It needs some revisions. So, but I did want to show that off because I just got it working last night. I was like, I got to get this working before we get Bill on. And but I showed that to you before the show, and you're like, "Wait a minute, I have one of those," and ran off. And I was like, "Well, now that he's gone, Joey, check this out." And I turned on all the electronics.
This was one of my first 3D printing projects. Now this one was molded and cast, but the masters were one of my first 3D printing projects. I designed this in 123D Design. If anyone used that, it's not around anymore.
No,
but a very bare bones CAD software that was really easy to get into at the time. I do everything in Fusion now. In fact, my first Fusion project was this Destiny Blaster back here. But this was one of my very first. I printed the parts for this on my Dremel Idea Builder.
Oh man, I have one of those collecting dust underneath a shelf at work.
Yeah, I think my brother inherited it, and then it went on. It went to a farm upstate, I believe.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
is that painted then to get that surface on there? That's awesome.
Yeah. So the original printed. I think it was just it was a PLA probably at the time, and then sanded until it was smooth, and then I made several silicone molds for the different pieces, and then so like this was cast in black plastic, so it's not, you didn't even have to paint that part, and then the rest of it, this has a all clad, I think, is the paint.
The
so you do a gloss black.
Yeah,
it's similar to Luster, yeah, but this is all clad, just a different brand.
Gotcha.
And so you put a gloss black down, and then you do the chrome lacquer, and then a clear coat over the top to protect it.
Wow.
And if you look closely, you can see cat hair in it right there.
Perfect. Oh, I got that molded into it.
Yeah, that's how you know it's an authentic Punished Props prop.
With that cat hair molded into it.
Yeah.
That's good.
But the reason I brought that up was because you were talking about, Joey, you were bringing up parts of the video, and one of the things that in that particular video was like stood out to me was your comment about something about if knowledge is the only thing holding you back, you should go ahead and try and do it anyway. And there's so much stuff. I mean, I knew a lot of what I was going to do when I started this, but I only knew that stuff because of another project, this massive R2 project that I've been working on that Joey knows about, and it's still in the works. There's still a lot that hasn't been done with it, but all of that was I knew. Sarah knows this. I've talked about this before. The 3D printing, the prop making, the finishing, the painting, all that stuff. I've got that down for the most part. But what always held me back when it came to making custom stuff that was really over the top and really what I wanted to make a awesome, well-rounded piece with was I didn't know how to do any of the electronics or the coding.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Especially with the doing custom electronic stuff. Most of Bender over here, most of him is just an RC car. So the bottom half of him is a 1/6 scale RC car, and that I know how to do since I was a kid, right? But getting him to say stuff, I didn't know. I knew the vision. I had the vision, but I did not know how to get there. But I knew that people had done it before. So, and I'm a people, so I should be able to do it too.
Yeah, and that's something that I've always felt when I'm in positions and when I'm in a job where I'm in the process of interviewing and hiring somebody is like there's the unteachable skills, there's the desire to learn, the sense of responsibility, the drive, and you can teach anybody anything. And then, at some point I realized, I guess that applies to me too, huh? I guess I could I don't know how to do this, but I'm going to figure out how to do it. And, people do it, so I can too, right?
Yep. So I ended up going with the Kyber board for Bender here.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's right. I've never seen that.
Yeah, Matt Hobbs and his pals make
Matt.
that board. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just saw him at DragonCon and his Wally, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want to make a Wally.
Yep.
But I got to finish Bender first, but Wally is definitely on my list. So they were really, really helpful. I had like 3 weeks before DragonCon just to do all of that, to do all the controls, and I didn't even have a controller. So I talked to Corey in the group and a handful of other people, and they were very helpful. I bought some equipment from them, and in just like 2 weeks, I got him going, which was kind of insane.
That's
and
awesome.
Anytime I hit a roadblock, I could go back to them for help.
Yep.
So they have a Discord. So if anyone wants to make a droid and you need a control system, look up the Kyber Control group on Facebook, and they'll be happy to help you out.
There's a couple other control systems too, right?
Yeah. That's the first one I tried, and the folks were great.
Yeah. So Michael Baddeley, the guy who designs a lot of the 3D printable droid files, we had him on the show years ago, and I've been friends with. Do you know Tim O'Sullivan?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I will send you a link to his Instagram because you are gonna want to see his stuff. He has been making. He started with a fully 3D printed C-3PO costume. He actually has the build for 3PO, unlike most of them. And he figured out how to chrome it in his garage. He just came up with his own method to do it. And now he's sculpting his own. He's sculpting like he has a Grogu that, but it's like it's 100% scratch built.
Yeah.
He did the sculpting. He cast the silicone. He did the painting. He plucked the hairs into the head and everything. Wow. He developed the animatronics. He 3D printed parts of the animatronics. Did all the prototyping. Made the he even made the pram, and he put the pram on a platform that was surrounded by mirrors. So if you have it in the right setting, it looks like it's floating.
Oh, cool!
Like, the dude has.
That's how they did the first land speeder. Luke's
exactly. But
awesome.
It was Tim that actually introduced me to Matt Hobbs. That's why I was excited when you mentioned him, because he's a really, really nice dude and super freaking smart.
Awesome.
Dude is intelligent.
Kind of I just got to play with a very cool Grogu a week ago. And it was Adam Savage's Grogu.
Oh, it was Adam.
They flew me out there for a job last week, and I think that'll come out in a couple weeks. But
gotcha.
While I was there, Matt, the guy who's working on Adam's Grogu, showed up with Grogu, and I got to play with him.
That's awesome.
It was very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his Grogu has a Kyber control board in it.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And it's a lot more complicated than my Bender. Like way more complicated.
That's why
when he rotates his head this way, his whole body shifts. So he does that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot more realistic too.
Yeah, and there's a ton of stuff in there. It's crazy. But I knew. Here's the funny thing, though. Because I had just done Bender, I knew enough about how those systems work to have a conversation with him about it and sound like I knew what I was talking about.
Yep. I've had a few of those moments where, with just the electronic stuff that I've been learning with some folks at Open Sauce and at 3D Rentopia, and I'm like, they have no idea. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like,
I go through my life like thinking that 90% of the time.
That's
like, I've fooled everyone.
I was gonna say, for someone who hasn't started into, like, or who wants to get into this kind of stuff, would it be like, okay, I'll say I'm interested in like doing this eventually, but like, would a good baby step be like finding a Billy the Bass I found one in the
A
attic.
Billy the
Like,
Bass.
getting a Google or Amazon Alexa and like sandwiching that in there and wiring that up somehow. I've seen a few, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that is 10,000 times better than all this crap they try to sell at the store. Because I'm like,
Mhm.
now you have a talking fish. That's
Now you
just
have a talking fish.
Yeah.
that's what anyone wants, right? So I'm like, I should probably try to make one at some point.
Sure.
There's
You know
actually
what? You know what I do though? When it comes time to learn something, I pick something ridiculously ambitious every time. Like this was my first thing I made in Fusion 360, this rifle, and it took me like a month, and I spent most of the time Googling how to do stuff. But I ran into every issue I was going to run into with it. Same thing with Bender. Bender's my first bot build, and he talks and he has audio and he has a car. Like it's a complicated thing. But by the time I got to the end of it, I learned everything I needed to do. So I tend to go in when it comes to building new skills, and I pick something I really, really want, but something ambitious that's going to sort of, I'm going to run into all the problems I'm going to need to run into to learn everything I need to learn. So I say just go for it.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, trial by fire. Or what was the other? I don't know. There's a lot of projects over here that nearly broke me.
What is it? What's that? What's that a comment about? What's that about?
Is
actually,
Billy Bass more of like a Midwest thing?
I mean, we had a Billy Bass when we were a kid. When I was a kid, I was up in
we had one
up in your area
over in New York.
Yeah. So yeah. But
I was subjected to one.
Yeah, well, we're subjected to quite a few of them. There's a restaurant right down the road from us here in Arkansas, here in Little Rock, called the Flying Fish, and they've got like catfish and fried things. Typical Arkansas fare, right?
It's delicious.
But their like shtick is that if you bring in a big mouth Billy Bass, whether it's working or not, you get a free meal. So you walk in there and there's hundreds of them lining the walls. They don't. It's not like they all talk to you at the same time. Most of them aren't working, but there's just Billy Bass everywhere.
Couldn't talk anyway. They're all full of crackers.
That's right. That's right. People are always throwing stuff at them to see if they get landed in the mouth and stuff.
People will climb up in the chairs just to feed them.
There's a couple custom ones where people obviously were like, "I'm going to put this on the wall." So, but yeah.
Now, what about this? I'm picturing a wall with hundreds of them. But you ever seen those like kinetic sculptures that respond to people? Like it makes a picture of them by flipping tiles or something. What if you had a camera pointed and this wall of basses would move to like reflect an image that's happening, or a whole chorus of singing, maybe if the whole wall started singing.
Or if like there was a proximity thing where a cluster of them look at you that are closest to you, and then as you walk around, the ones in front of you suddenly flip back and look at you and watch you walk by.
Yeah, just dozens of fish watching you as you walk by. Yeah,
that's like a